This week I have a kitchen confession I know we can all relate to. You buy enough to fill your fridge and pantry with produce, only to dig them out a week later and throw them all away. Let's dig into this week's kitchen confession. Now, I know we've all done it. We've gotten super motivated to cook for a week. So we head to the market, we buy a cart full of groceries, only to throw most of it away days or even weeks later. Nothing is more frustrating, right? You buy it with the best intentions, then something gets in the way. Maybe you're tired and you don't follow through with your cooking plans. Or maybe work gets busy and you don't make it home until late. Takeout is so much easier at a time like that. But that doesn't change the fact that you have a fridge filled with dead produce. You move directly to your trash can. Now that's time wasted shopping, and it's money wasted on dead produce that you simply don't eat. So you know in the back of your mind that shift needs to happen, right? The real shift for me came when I stopped trying to eat like an Instagram account and started building a repeatable kitchen rhythm. Now, how do you do that? You shop with intention, not with inspiration. Have you ever noticed how you impulse buy when you're hungry or you don't have a shopping list with you? Something looks good, so it ends up in your cart, right? Or maybe you're planning on the fly. You throw in a few veggies with good intentions. Maybe you'll make your favorite recipe this week, the one your whole family enjoys. That's called impulse shopping. You shop without a definite plan, and it's much more likely you'll end up with a cart filled with produce you'll wind up throwing away. Intention comes from creating a plan. Now, what I like to do is I like to sit down on Sundays and map out my week's meal plans. I even have a whiteboard on my fridge so I can get my whole family involved. We look at our calendars and we discover who can cook on what day. We even assign days based on who wants to cook and what they want to eat for the week. Of course, we all usually end up in the kitchen together at night, but it is nice if someone's in charge of dinner. Even just a couple days off from meal planning can help with mindset issues, and it brings everybody into the kitchen and gets everyone involved. But no matter how you set this up, whiteboarding it sets the intention. You know what you'll cook, you know what you'll have to shop for, and with it scheduled, you're more likely to get it cooked. This can also allow you to pivot more effectively. I know people love the idea of shopping for the whole week, but is that realistic? I know for myself, I end up shopping 2 or 3 times a week. I may know what I'm eating all week, but I often only buy for 2 or 3 days at a time. This allows for what I like to call pivoting. If my plans change, I haven't purchased all the ingredients. I can make adjustments if I need to. Shopping more sounds actually counterintuitive, doesn't it? But I find it keeps me more on track when I shop. So I have a list of maybe 5 or 6 things, so it's easy to get in and out quickly without looking around. That actually prevents me from making those splurge purchases. If the cart's nearly empty or I'm carrying everything in my hands, I think twice before grabbing the things I don't need. Mindset, right? I can see them in there and I know if I'm buying something I don't need. So I'm in and I'm out, and I'm back at home starting in on my dinner plans. I do hear you. I understand how shopping can sometimes feel overwhelming. I look at it as a stress reliever. But if you're not quite there yet, you can start with your base ingredients and prep 1 time a week. Take a look at a lot of plant-based recipes and you'll discover they almost always start with a base of onions, of peppers, of carrots and celery. And if you want to prep, start there. Chop them all up ahead of time and store them in containers, something like this, ahead of time to keep your produce fresh. There are many storage containers on the market that can do this. And if you want to take this further, you can also make your dressings. You can roast vegetables You can even create grains early. Things like farro, quinoa, and rice store wonderfully. Again, cook them when you have the time, then store them for future use. Plan a few days in advance to give yourself a break for your busier days. I also love to buy kale and spinach in bulk, or during the summer months. I grow it myself. Then I bring it home, I wash it, and I chop it. If you don't use it right away, you can freeze it. Yes, you can't use frozen kale or spinach in salads, but they do make great additions for soups or for stews. Here's a secret. We're actually buying a freezer for our garage this year because my garden produces so much produce. I love knowing it's fresh from my garden and that I grew it. What could be better than that? Speaking of sad veggies, those little veggies you do forget in the back of your fridge, you can give them new life. Now, I'm not talking about ones that are beyond hope, but if they're a little wilty and not something you want to throw into a salad, chop them up, freeze them, and use them for soups and stir fries. I also add a lot of frozen veggies to my morning power smoothies. Kale, spinach, sweet potatoes, zucchini, they all make wonderful additions to my morning breakfast routine. You can experiment with this. Did you know, for instance, that peas can add smoothness and protein? Yeah, right? And easy to throw in the freezer. And that's the whole point. I hope you're seeing here in my plant-based lifestyle is something you can incorporate into your own lifestyle. You live how you eat, and you eat how you live. The best plant-based meals are made from what's on hand, not what's on trend. Build a rhythm inside your kitchen, not a fantasy for Instagram. What can you do today? Find recipes for your next 3 meals, head to the store, buy what you need, and bring that joy back into your kitchen. Remember, live how you eat and eat how you live. Your body will thank you for it. Now, if this confession hit home for you, I'd love to hear yours. Drop it in the comments below, and I'll see you again next week.